Hi, this is Peggy Miller. I'm with Highland Winds LLC, and this is the podcast series on medical herbalism. Today, we're dealing with key deficiency. Specifically, after I go through and summarize key deficiency in general, I will talk about spleen key deficiency and the symptoms related to it specifically. Basically, this is the chronic and specific section, and it covers just specifically that. You've had something for quite a while, and you're concerned about it, and the symptoms are prevalent and bothersome. They could include pain and a number of other symptoms that I'll go into. If it's not a chronic, go back to the maintenance episodes, the maintenance segments. This is chronic and specific. In fact, chronic and specific 11. So go back to maintenance and pick your age area and listen to that and the overview as well. But today, this is chronic and specific 11, and we're talking about mucus, weak ligaments, and spleen key deficiency. But first, I want to talk about spleen key deficiency. Key deficiency. When you're dealing with key deficiency, it is very much a part of your physical health. Just like I've talked about blood deficiency, and I've talked about yin deficiency at length, both of those being very important. I've talked some about yang deficiency and may allude to it again, but today we're talking about key deficiency because it is part of your overall health just as much as keeping your blood nourished, keeping yourself stagnation free, and also, making sure you have enough yin and yang balance, or from an Ayurvedic standpoint, a tridosha balance. Really important. And I touched on those in the overview. Key deficiency. Key is essentially the energy in your system. You breathe it in from the ground. It's on channels. You can read about this, the different energy channels that flow through your body, almost like blood flows in veins. And but you also get it from food. When you eat food, that food is digested and the nutrients are transported via the blood to all of your cells. Well, that food also helps create energy. And when it is doing this, and if you don't have the proper diet, this is why diet I've referred to in most of the segments on blood, on yin. Diet is critical in terms of maintaining the overall physical health, getting enough protein, enough amino acids, getting enough carbs, just to give you that burst of energy. Diet, the greens, the vitamins, the minerals, the whole thing is very important for overall health. And herbs contribute to that. Herbs are chock full of vitamins and minerals, and in addition, what they offer is often a very specific action. They might be just really good at nourishing blood, or really good at improving and increasing yin. But there are also herbs that increase and help stabilize ki. And some of those you've heard of or probably consume in, products you get at the market. Ginseng. Ginseng is known as a ki enhancer. Now, there's many types of ginseng. And I often use one type in terms of making teas, and if there's a need to increase energy, codonopsis is one form of ginseng that in some ways is milder but is also extremely good at helping with spleen ki, lung ki, and so it's one of those often used to increase ki, to increase your energy, just as a direct intake codonopsis tea, and that will help increase your overall energy, your ki. Astragalus is another that increases ki overall. Astragalus has the particular action of being upward in that if your lungs are what are showing a symptom of being very low energy, you get a lot of coughs, you get colds and can't seem to get rid of the mucus, you not only need to dry the mucus, but you need to have more lung energy so that the lungs can do their job, so that the bronchial tubes can do their job. So basically, codonopsis, astragalus are two constants. Renshin is a hotter and stronger form of ginseng. Sometimes it's excellent. When you really need to help someone just get back on their feet, they need a strong boost. Renshin is another ki builder. In addition to building ki, whenever I'm working with someone with fatigue, you pinpoint, is it coming from the kidneys not performing or from the spleen? Usually it's one or the other if there's a lot of fatigue. Sometimes, simply if lungs and heart are at low ebb for whatever reason, there will be fatigue as well. But this fatigue is usually transferred as well to the kidneys and or spleen. It's like if you have one organ not working that great. Let's just take lung ki. If your lungs do not have enough energy to work properly, and you can even inherit these as a problem. If the lungs don't have enough energy, ultimately the kidneys will feel this, and the heart will feel this, and the spleen, and the liver. So basically, whichever area, whichever organ or organs are working at low par, it's important to get on it more rapidly than not. So fatigue is a really strong symptom that needs to be addressed. It's not something you just kind of go, oh, well. Sometimes just eating some better meals for a few days, really nourishing soup, homemade chicken soup with bone broth, that kind of thing, as well as just more meat and more salads and more greens, and increasing, just look at your diet. Sometimes it's just simply your diet, and you'll suddenly eat better, and you will then find the fatigue is gone. Then you don't need a number of different types of herbs to stimulate it even more strongly. But if just diet alone, you still are dragging, then it's really a good idea to seek out a medical herbalist, Chinese or Ayurvedic, and talk to them about what your symptoms are, and then it can be pinpointed. Are you, is it spleen ki deficiency? Is it lung ki deficiency? What is going on? And then formulas can be created to help improve the problem, to help get the organ back into working order. So, okay, that's just overall ki deficiency. It's low energy. Often the diet or external things like overwork, stress causes fatigue all by itself. All these things can impact the organs. But now let me just talk some about spleen ki deficiency itself. Spleen ki deficiency, usually the foremost symptom, in addition to fatigue, is mucus, usually. A person says, oh, they're getting colds all the time. They can't get rid of them. They're just they're hacking up stuff. They seem to get colds, every other month, and they're tired. That alone is just, okay, spleen ki deficiency. But let's say they don't have they say they're tired, but their abdomen, they have a bloated abdomen, a lot of gas, food stagnation, and their ligaments seem to be loose. Their joints are loose. Something seems to be wrong. Spleen key deficiency, generally speaking, because the other thing that happens when the energy of the spleen is low, the spleen takes digested food, and takes the nutrients and transports it to the blood. If it's not doing its job, then things work at subpar and mucus is formed because the food isn't being properly transported. It builds up, it's stagnant, and you have mucus buildup. The reason I say mucus isn't always a symptom is because mucus can hide. And some people don't know this. I didn't used to know this. Besides, the regular cold, nose, coughing, hacking up, phlegm, mucus can just store. It can store in the abdomen and clog fallopian tubes. It can store in the joints and cause problems. It can store in bits and pieces around the heart. And I've already mentioned this in a previous one. When it does that, it actually makes the heart heat up because things aren't working quite well. And anger can be a result. That can actually be a symptom. If the person doesn't have other liver symptoms, but they're suddenly feeling inappropriate anger, and they actually notice it, but they have a few of the other spleen issues, they've got mucus buildup around the heart area. And that can be cleared. There's an herb called Pinellia. There's other ones as well. Bamboo shavings is excellent. I usually combine a few, but there are set herb formulas. And when I say you can get these formulas from any medical herbalist, any Chinese or Ayurvedic herbalist can prepare. These are standard. When I refer to a formula, a tea formula, this is standard work. It's just like if you went to a conventional doctor and one of them did a gallbladder test and another one did a gallbladder test. They're going to be very, very similar tests, if not identical. Well, when you go to different Chinese and Ayurvedic herbalists, sure, everyone has their emphasis or their way of looking at things, but they will hone in on the symptoms and be able to prepare a tea or recommend pills. Many of the formulas, like the common spleen key deficiency formula, is called 4 Gentlemen's, and also called 4 Major Herbs. You can get it in pill form. And it's excellent. You do have to take it, if you have this chronically, you have to take it for a number of months. So just get prepared for that. Teas are stronger. They can sometimes get things going more rapidly, and then you shift to pills. That can be an approach that is taken. But these are very standardized. You can find them online, and it can really help in terms of dealing with spleen key deficiency. And in addition, if you have the abdominal problems of food stagnation, for 3 or 4 days, eat like triple your increase of cooked veggies. Don't eat any salads. Don't eat raw fruits or raw veggies, cooked veggies, and a lot of them. And it will actually clear your abdomen. And other problems of spleen key deficiency, rosacea, the veins can be weakened by low spleen key. So think about those herb formulas, 4 Major Herbs, also called 4 Gentlemen's. You can get it in tea form, you can get it in pill form, and it can really help with the problems related as well as the fatigue related. It's a very good set of formulas. I hope this has helped a little. I'll be going on with key deficiency with the next one. You take care. Have a good week. And this is a shout out to MCAT and KFGM 101.5 on the FM dial for carrying these. Thanks. Bye.